Match week 1, Arsenal beat Coventry. Arsenal 3, Coventry 0. Main talking points of what I want to speak about today are 3-0 win, really great performances. I want to speak about 2 different combos of trios that we're finally seeing on the right and the left side. I want to speak about Martin Odegaard. I want to speak about Tzolis. I want to speak about the Havertz and Gyökeres situation. I want to say some points around the new signing Konsa, and also want to speak about Aston Villa next week as well. So they're the main talking points. Let's get right into it. This is Max Talks Arsenal, and this is match week 1. Starting 11, 2 changes this week from the Community Shield. Bruno and Madueke came out of the team and they were replaced by Rice and Saka. All that noise over the summer that Rice and Saka were going to miss 2 months of football because they played so much and they were looking shattered over the summer, that was quickly put to rest. Both started, both played really well. Rice looked like he had bundles of energy. Saka also looks like he's looking fitter than he did last season as well. He's got that little bit of pace about him. He's running past players, still looks as strong as ever. Rice also driving through that midfield, which we love him to do. Played some really good combinations with Martin Odegaard, which we didn't actually see much last season due to Odegaard's injuries. So really happy that those 2 started and they got a really good run out. Probably got about 70 odd minutes. I can't really remember fully, haven't looked at the stats of when they came off, but I felt like it was kind of halfway through the second half. Really positive, happy that they both started. Obviously next I want to speak about is really impressive first half. 2 goals in the first half, really quick, fluid football, playing directly through the middle a lot of the time as well. Odegaard and Rice were making some nice combinations with each other, which obviously led to one of our goals as well, playing through the lines to each other, which we didn't see enough last season. It was so right side heavy, every single attack, it felt like last season. Really happy, but the main points that I want to speak about are the 2 trios of combinations that we have right now in the first 2 games, which we're seeing starting to blossom. The first one is the old trusted Saka, Odegaard, White. We haven't really seen it a lot since 2023-24. That was when we got our highest points total. Those 3 played their best football. Odegaard was scoring goals, Saka was scoring goals, Ben White was getting assists and fit every single week. We missed that way too much over the last 2 seasons, in my opinion. Whether that's injuries to Odegaard, whether that's injuries to Saka, whether it's injuries to Ben White, we just haven't seen those 3 play enough together in recent years. And if evidence is there and what we've seen from the last 2 games, especially the first Premier League game, White is looking fit. I must say he's looking quicker than I've really seen him in a while. The way he's getting up and down that touchline, it looks like the old Ben White, which is really great. His telepathy, his understanding of play with Bukayo Saka is, in all honesty, world class. I really do believe it. I think it's one of the best combinations of right side that we have in the Premier League. Obviously what we have as a team, the runs that he makes, the timing of it, the defenders cannot track him. Saka knows exactly when to play it, when to use it as a decoy. It allows Martin Odegaard to have a bit more confidence, I believe, when he knows those 2 are just always there. He knows the positions they're going to have. It was really exciting seeing those 3 together again. Obviously them 3 led to the combo of our 3rd goal as well in the second half, which was really great. Again, Rice playing it through the lines to Odegaard, which we were speaking about. Really playing that reverse pass directly through, taking out the 2 mid-block of Coventry. Odegaard plays it to Saka, and you see White on that run. Absolutely amazing. Made sure that he was going to get around, and Saka played it absolutely perfectly and crossed it in, and obviously a lucky finish by Odegaard, really, but all 3 involved, absolutely perfect. Love that combination. The second combination I want to speak about is the new left side that is happening. It's been a problem for us. We all know it's been a problem for us. We've never quite got that balance there. Odegaard, Arteta has been really looking to improve that left-hand side, and I'm really excited about what I've seen from these first 2 games. The combination of Miles Lewis-Skelly, Calafiori, and the new summer signing, Tzolis. I think this is really great to see. The left side looks fluid. The exchanges of the 3 of them is something we haven't really seen much. You know, we're so right-hand dominant that we have to switch the ball over to the left, but it really felt like the team was confident in Tzolis and they were confident in giving him the ball and allowing him to do his really low touch, close to the body movement, beating his man, can go both ways. Was really happy with it. His understanding with Calafiori already looks like it's there. And Miles Lewis-Skelly who's played left back for a while. It seems like his understanding of that role on that left side we haven't seen since Xhaka. I really do think it. He's so comfortable being able to drift to the left. He's comfortable obviously playing the balls through the lines, which we miss so heavily. And I think this is going to be a really big breakout season for Miles. He's obviously not going to play every single week. Bruno Guimaraes is going to come back into the team. They're going to rotate. But I think Miles is not going to just be a squad player. He's going to have a real impact. And I think that left side is better with him there. And it allows Rice to drift to the right a little bit more, play those combinations with Martin Odegaard, who naturally drifts to the right, play with Saka. I think the balance was absolutely perfect. Tzolis, what a Premier League debut. Honestly, I was really, really chuffed with him. I was worried when we signed him that maybe the step up might be a little bit too much. It might be the Belgium league, you never quite know. But what we do say is certain attributes of football is always adapted, right? If you can play in tight areas, you can play in tight areas in the Premier League. You're not used to having lots and lots of space. If you've got ball striking ability, you can bring that ball striking ability to the Premier League. And we saw it multiple times on Friday night, and he was pretty unlucky not to score, to be honest with you. There was the left-footed shot that was cleared off the line. There was the half volley that he took on the outside of the box. So it was a really great strike and a really good save by the keeper. But what I loved about him the most is that he can go both ways and he gets the ball into the box quickly. And not just head down, he lifts his head up to look for the right ball. And that directly led to our second goal. The ball was laid out to him, left foot, first time, really dangerous across the face of the goal. Gave the keeper a decision to make, and a decision that obviously he flapped at it and it landed perfectly to Bukayo Saka to give us the second goal. Really, really positive. I feel like some of the notes I wrote here is, even though his height, he can win headers really well. He won some really big headers. He works his absolute sock off. He's got great technical ability, but also the physical battle. He's there. He's fighting for every single ball. He was winning duels. He won the duel high up the pitch to win us the ball back, laid it off to Calafiori for our first goal. Really, really happy with him. Really excited to see how he develops over the season. I'm sure, like always, new signings, they might have a little bit of a slow patch. But if he plays like this and teams, back off him and give him the bit of space, it leads to two things, right? It leads to more space on the right side because they can't double up on Saka as much, or they're going to keep double up on Saka and he's going to be one-on-one. And one-on-one leads to chances like that we had in the game against Coventry. So Tzolis, really, really happy. Next, I want to speak about Havertz and Victor Gyökeres. I think it's clear that this team works better with a number 9 who can move free, pick up the ball, find space, bring others into play. I spoke about this on a video where I discussed about transfers for Arsenal. I think Arteta seems to think this as well, right? Havertz is starting the last 2 games. He started the Champions League final, he started the Carabao Cup final, he started the away game to Man City. Like these big games, he started the Burnley home game, for example, where he scored the winner. What a moment, by the way. So I think the team does function better with a Kai Havertz in the team, with a striker that plays that false 9 role, can't speak, and drifts around the pitch. I thought he took his goal really, really well, Kai. 2 games, 2 goals, 2 starts for the Community Shield in the Premier League. Really, really impressive. The sort of sweeping finish of first time away from the keeper into the bottom corner. Looked really confident. I felt like the way he was picking up the ball and winning the duels, and his combinations always with Odegaard and Saka, he naturally drifts to the right. Really, really impressive. Really happy with his play. Why I wanted to speak about Gyökeres as well is obviously Gyökeres didn't come onto the pitch. We made 5 subs. Arteta decided to give minutes to Marino. Maybe that was on purpose, not really a message. We might be looking into it a bit too much. Marino come back from the World Cup late versus Gyökeres having a whole pre-season. The game was done. Maybe a chance to just give minutes to Marino. But it is interesting to not see Gyökeres come on the pitch and obviously not start the Community Shield. And I think, in honesty, he struggled over pre-season as well. So I don't know if this is something to look at, whether the links with Julian Alvarez and Gyökeres going the other way, if a deal can be done there, is something to actually believe, and Gyökeres is no longer in the plans of Arteta. I don't know. But what I do know is Havertz is Arteta's starting striker. As of right now, he has the shirt. Gyökeres needs to take it off him. but it's obvious we play better with a floating nine. Jesus, when he was fit and firing before his injuries, that was our best period under Arteta for a long time. Havertz in 23-24, when he became central striker, we got our highest points total ever. Havertz was injured a lot last season. Gyökeres had to play, and to be fair to him, 21 goals, it's a really good output. But we all saw with our eyes that he's not the same player as Havertz, and the team is 100% set up right now to play to the attributes of a false nine, and that is why Havertz is playing, in my opinion. So watch this space. Let's see whether we do bring another striker in, whether Gyökeres goes the other way, or whether it was just minutes that Mourinho needed and the other players returning back from the World Cup was more of a priority than bringing Gyökeres on when the game was already done at 3-0. I want to speak about Martin Odegaard. I know I briefly touched about him, but I just want to say these points. He's looking fit, he's looking free, he's looking stronger, and he looks really, really confident following lifting the Premier League trophy and having a really, I think in Norway standards can say, a successful World Cup as well. And in that World Cup, he looked good, right? He was getting assists, he was playing with Erling Haaland really well, he was dictating the play. So I think it's all really, really positive for Arsenal. The most important thing is keeping him fit. For 2 seasons now, he's had various injuries, knee and ankle. We need to get him back to his fit, firing levels of the 23-24 season. And if we can keep him fit, the way he's playing these first 2 games, where he played over the World Cup, we could be in for a very special season for Martin Odegaard. I'm really hopeful for it. I fully believe in him. He just needs to stay fit. We can't keep getting him injured, and hopefully this year he can stay fit and carry on his great start. Next, I want to speak about Ezri Konsa. Again, I spoke about him in the summer after the rumours were coming out. I was really happy with these transfer links. He's that right back centre back hybrid role that I believe we need. Our injuries to the right side of our defence has been documented so much, right? Ben White injured, Timber injured most of last season towards the back end, Mosquera having to play right back in the Champions League final. I don't think we want that to happen again, right? White looks fit right now, but who knows? Timber's still out. Mosquera's played really, really well these last 2 games as centre-back, and I know some people are saying, why can't we just play Mosquera every week? We are 1 injury to Ben White away from having a real crisis in defence, right? Mosquera is playing centre-back. If we have a right-back missing, we're going to play 2 left-footed centre-backs, move Mosquera over to right-back. I don't think it's very feasible. I don't think it's ideal. I think Konsa was a really great signing. It gives us excellent ability. It gives us cover in 2 positions. It gives Premier League leadership. When you actually look at his numbers as well, his duels, his forward passes, his progressive passes, passes under pressure, they're all very, very high. And I think Arteta is really going to like him. When everyone's fit, maybe we have a different story with how often people can play, but how often is everyone fit during a season, right? We have injuries constantly. Players are constantly injured. Players constantly need to be rotated, and I think this allows Tzolis to have a longer rest. It allows Konsa to take a bit more of a leadership role in this team, puts less pressure on Mosquera having to play every single week, a little bit less pressure on Ben White's body as well to protect him over the season. I think it's a really good signing. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. Whether he will play for his first game against his old team at Villa Park, I'm not too sure. But Chelsea the week after that, I think, will be a really great target for Ezri Konsa. And then finally, I just want to discuss Villa away on Monday night upcoming this week. I guess next week, technically a week today. I think we're playing Villa at a really good time. In all honesty, we saw what happened to Villa yesterday. They looked very off the mark, very off the pace. A lot of change and turmoil at their club this year. I think playing them now before they kind of settle down and get into rhythm, I think is a really good time. Obviously, they've got now a week to train and really push on and focus on this game, but so do we. And I think we look 10 times in a better position than they do right now after their 4-0 loss to Brighton at the weekend. So it should be a really good test for us. Hopefully we can keep the fluidity moving, we can keep the ball going quickly, play between the lines like we did, use both wings, have those combinations going again, not just the right side heavy. and keep going on with this title defence. So yeah, really happy. 3-0 win against Coventry. Really great performance. Hopefully we can carry this on throughout the season. Every week I'll be here reviewing the match week, discussing the high points, the low points when we finally get to win with Arsenal. Hopefully way more high points, and hopefully this leads to another Premier League winning campaign, and who knows, let's see what we do in Europe this year. Thank you for watching. This has been Max Talks Arsenal. I will see you after the next game.